The Snowman in Boots. "Harry, let's build a snowman who really looks alive," said Valerie. "We can't," said Harry. "They always look so queer about the feet because they have to be made up of snow right down to the bottom or they wouldn't stand up." "Well, I know what we can do," said Valerie. "We can get Daddy's old rubber boots, the ones he never wears now because they've got holes in, and we can fill them with snow and then build the snowman on top of the big boots. It will look exactly as if he's got proper legs in the boots." "All right," said Harry. "It's rather a good idea." So they began to build a snowman. First of all, they got the old rubber boots. They were so big that Valerie could put both her feet inside one of them. Then they stood the boots on the snowy lawn and filled them with snow. "There," said Valerie, pleased. "He's got 2 snow feet in the boots and 2 fine fat legs." Then they built a nice round body on top of the boots and put a round snow head on top. Harry made some arms down by the side of the body. "Now we'll dress him," said Valerie. "I'll get Daddy's old mackintosh from the shed. You fetch that torn red scarf of yours, Harry, and Grandpa's big old gloves, and I'll get the funny old check cap we use for our guy on firework night." It wasn't long before the snowman was dressed up very well indeed. The mackintosh was draped round his shoulders and came right down to his knees, just above the boots. The scarf was tied around his rather fat throat. The gloves were pinned to the end of the mackintosh sleeves, filled with snow so that they looked like hands. And then the cap was put around his head to give him the finishing touch. He did look fine. "A stick now," said Harry, pleased. "I'll lend him the one I had for my birthday. He'll like that. And oh, Harry, let's give him a nice big nose, and I'll lend him that pair of glasses I got out of a cracker," cried Valerie. "He will look real with glasses." Well, the children gave him a big nose, a mouth made of twigs, and then set the glasses on his nose. They were quite startled when they looked at him. "Good morning, Mr. Frosty Man," said Valerie, bowing. "I hope you're well." "I almost expected him to bow back to you and take off his cap," said Harry with a laugh. "Mother, come and see Mr. Frosty Man." "Who?" cried Mother, looking out of the window. "Dear me, a visitor! Who can it be?" But it wasn't a visitor, of course. It was only the funny old snowman with his cap and glasses and coat and big rubber boots. Everyone stared at him in surprise when they came by. "Who's that?" said short-sighted Miss Spink. "Is that Valerie's grandpa? I really must say, how do you do to him?" "No, dear, no," said her sister. "It's just a snowman." The children were quite sad to have to go to bed and say good-night to the snowman at the window. He stood there in the snowy night, looking more real than ever now that it was dark. There was just a little moon, enough to show him there. Now, in the middle of the night, 2 burglars came along. They meant to break into the shed at the back of the children's house and steal the bicycles there. There were 3, one belonging to Valerie, one to Harry, and one to their father. The men crept in at a gate right at the bottom of the garden. The snowman was in the front garden, so they didn't see him. They went quietly to the shed where the bicycles were kept. Nearby was a cork bunker, and hiding inside was Paddy Paws, the children's cat. He was sometimes naughty and wouldn't go in at night. Then he would creep into the cork bunker and sleep there. He awoke when he heard the men whispering and poked his black head outside. "Hello, who are these men? What are they doing to our shed?" thought Paddy Paws. "I must go and warn the family." But nobody heard him scratching at the door, so nobody came to see what was the matter. He ran round into the front garden, and there he saw the snowman. "Ah, the snowman," he thought. "Perhaps he can help." So up he went and tapped the snowman on the leg. "Mr. Frosty Man," he said, "will you please come round to the back garden and frighten away 2 men who are there?" The snowman was more surprised. "I can't walk," he said in a cold, snowy sort of voice. "Snowmen never can." "Why can't you?" said Paddy Paws. "You're wearing boots, and that means you've got feet, and feet can walk, can't they? Why don't you try?" "Well, I will," said the snowman, thinking that Paddy Paws might be right. So he tried to lift up one foot, but it was very, very heavy. He groaned. "I don't know how to walk," he said. "My legs feel heavy." "Oh, do try again," begged Paddy Paws. "Let me loosen the snow around your feet, Mr. Frosty Man. There, can you move them now?" "Oh, that's better," said the snowman, and he managed to lift up one foot, and he put it in front of him. "Now you move the other foot," said the cat. "That's right, put it in front of the first foot. Now put the first foot in front again. Oh, you're getting on well, Snowman." "Thank you for telling me how to walk," said the Snowman, and he went slowly and heavily over the lawn, onto the path and up to the back gate. Paddy Paws pushed it open for him, and he went through. He came to the bicycle shed. "I'm going to make a terrible noise now to frighten the men," said the cat. "So don't be afraid. You walk up to them and say, 'Meow.'" Paddy Paws yowled and howled and wailed and squealed. The Snowman suddenly appeared at the door of the bicycle shed just as the men came to see what the dreadful noise was. "Hey, who's there?" said one man, startled. "Here, Jim, let's run, quick!" Mr. Frostyman stood there, very big and very fat. The moonlight glinted on his glasses. He raised one arm stiffly with the stick in it. "Run, Jim, run!" cried the frightened man, watching. "Oh, who's that? Who is it? Oh, that dreadful noise!" The Snowman placed himself right in the doorway, and the men had to pummel him to get out. They squeezed by him at last and raced to the back gate, leaving all the bicycles behind. "Now, good old Mr. Frostyman," said Paddy Paws. "You scared them all right. Now, shall I help you back to the front lawn again?" But poor old Frostyman had got one of his legs caught in the shed door, and he couldn't move, no matter how the cat shoved and pushed. So in the end he had to stay there. And in the morning, how astonished the two children were when they went to get their bicycles. "Mother, Mother, look where the Snowman has got to," cried Valerie. "Who put him at the door of our shed? And Mother, look at those footsteps going up and down the garden from the gate to the shed." "Burglars must have come to get your bicycles, I should think," said Mother. "But how did the Snowman come to be in the doorway of the shed? He couldn't possibly have got there himself. It's a mystery." "He must have been able to walk because we gave him boots," said Harry. "Didn't you, Mr. Frostyman? Mother, he winked at me through his glasses. I saw him. He did walk here himself. I know he did." "Well, he did, of course, and a very good thing too. You'd better give your next Snowman some boots too. He might find them as useful as Mr. Frostyman did."